Well, the question always is, the rates are up, the market's up, do I buy a house or not? I'm putting my money where my mouth is and telling you that I'm still bullish on this real estate market, so much so that I'm buying a house, closing next Friday. So no one can ever question me if I'm just out here yapping away. And I believe that. I really do believe that now, especially in Florida, this is a great real estate market, and we're going to tell you why. We're going to answer your questions, and we're going to do so by asking real questions. Every Saturday here on the program, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's community. I will kick it off today. To my right, my good buddy John Ledford is here. John, how are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Good to see you. And
too.
for the first time in a while, to my left, all suited out today, Dawood Bedrosian. Dawood, how are you?
Justin, thanks for having me on the show.
So I really am buying a house. You know that. I told you the other day. But another reason why I know this market is strong, because we have so many international investors coming here and so many people from other countries moving here. You do a lot of work with international buyers. They're still coming here. Why are they coming here?
Well, they're coming for several reasons. Obviously, the weather. You have a lot of international buyers that see places like Florida as a safe haven to park their funds in. For a lot of people, I ask them this question all the time. What's your investment strategy? Or better yet, what is your end investment strategy? Meaning, let's look at the end. How are you going to look at this property? And a good majority of the time, people are looking at these investments as short-term vacation rentals, because here in Central Florida, in 2019, Orlando received 79 million visitors to our area. And our tourism board is looking to recover 80 million tourists by 2024.
Wow.
For all of those reasons, the famous hockey quote by Wayne Gretzky, you always want to skate to where the puck is going,
That's
not
right.
where the puck is at. You want to try and follow trends. Orlando's short-term vacation market is very, very, very strong. There's a lot of investors that want to come in here. Our median price is very attractive. And as a result of that, while many other cities and states saw prices decrease by about 10%, here in the Orlando and Miami area, we saw prices appreciate, in spite of the rates going up, by 9 to 13% as well, too.
And tons of international people moving here, as we said, literally moving their families here. I've met tons of them. John, you've met tons of them as well. And you take a real, again, I don't like the word holistic, but really a big picture approach to their investment strategy as well. You're going to look at their real estate, of course, but then you're also looking at everything else that they do. For someone who's new to this area, maybe came here with some money, they don't know who to trust when it comes to their money.
Sure.
What do you tell that person?
Well, I think there's a couple things. First of all, as it relates to real estate, commercial real estate, residential real estate, for us, it's a leg of the stool, right? It's part of their overall allocation. And I, like you guys, I'm very, very bullish on Central Florida. You can't argue the demographics, you can't argue the statistics. They're irrefutable. Yeah. We are still on the front edge of a dramatic curve that's going to continue for a long, long time. So we're bullish on real estate. We own a lot of real estate. We're continuing to buy real estate as well. And so I'm happy that you have a transaction coming up. For the investor that's coming here, I think to Dawood's point, one of the questions is always, what are your goals? What are your end goals? And they're not always the same. Sometimes people are moving, they have cash, and they need some place to store that cash. They may or may not want to put that money inside of a bank. They might want to do something a little bit more comprehensive, if you will, or something that might earn a higher rate of return. So, for clients, typically, we need to really understand who they are, what they're trying to accomplish, what their rate of return goals are, what their liquidity needs are, whether or not if they find that perfect home, whether it's here or Miami or wherever, that they have access to liquidity. But there's so much more to the picture, because oftentimes with a good advisor who works with a quality custodian, I think for international buyers, they want to be very, very choosy about custodians that they would work with. Some are very international friendly, some are very not friendly. Yeah. But then also issues related to lending, not that we provide mortgages or anything like that, but a lot of times there's a way to unlock value in your assets, liquid and illiquid assets, that can help with the overall home buying process. So I always get the question of when should we talk to a financial advisor? My response all the time is sooner and often. Don't wait until you've made a decision, you've exhausted a strategy. Meet with someone like myself soon, and we can help you and save you a bunch of time and probably execute a better strategy.
And I've talked to a lot of you with the firm as well who have moved down here over the last few years, 3 years really since COVID hit. and you've left your job in New York with the pension or the IRA or the 401k, and you're like, I don't know what to do. Just my boss used to handle it. I have a QR code because that makes me nervous. It really does.
Sure.
I have a QR code right here on the screen for you that will connect you directly to John, and he'll review that with you. It doesn't cost you anything to review. Okay, is there something I can be doing better to save on taxes and to really build that wealth? Now, Dawood, back to you on the real estate side of things for these investors that are coming here. You hear about the Airbnbs around Disney and Universal. I mean, that's obviously something we've heard a lot about. What is that market like right now?
So that market is entering more of a mature part of the cycle. 2020, 2021, 2022 saw an exponential growth in that market. Our economy opened 6 weeks after COVID hit, and the first type of rental that everybody wanted to flock to was an Airbnb type rental, either to purchase or to stay in. Because if you could work from home, why not bring the whole family instead of locking them up in some other part of the country and move them here?
Right.
We saw occupancy levels increase from over 84% to 99% during that period of time. And we're still seeing a demand for more and more people wanting to come to Orlando for all of the attractions that we have. To the effect that $53.3 billion with a B came into the US market in terms of foreign investors buying here. And they ended up buying properties with a median average throughout the country for about $400,000.
Right.
When you looked at the areas on where they wanted to invest, Florida topped the list at 23%, followed by California and Texas at 12% each. So obviously Florida is a really hot market, and there's a lot of people that want it because now that these technological platforms like Airbnb, VRBO, even some of the more common ones that we know, such as Expedia, etc., are all taking advantage of adding these short-term vacation rentals as part of their offering packages, because many people now are attracted to wanting to stay in a house, have that privacy, maybe save on the dollars that they have when they're coming on these vacations, just have more ample space for their family to enjoy while they're here.
I got it. And if you're investing in this market, I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. This is a formidable team right here that we put together. Really, it is. When you're like, I don't know how much to spend on real estate versus investment accounts. What do I do? Talk to these guys together, 407-205-0400. I mean, John wrote the book on it. You got to tell me about the book, please.
Well, we have a couple books here. I was fortunate enough to work with a great team that said to me, be a co-author with us and you'll have a best-selling book.
Yeah.
And so we did that exercise a few years ago. And so I co-authored 2 best-selling books. And so what I want to do today, in light of the topic that we're talking about, especially short-term rentals, which can provide some magical tax benefits if executed properly for not only investors, but also W-2 employees, get a chance to write off what typically would be passive losses, but you can actually use them actively without getting in the weeds. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to offer to the first 5 people who call into our office, we'll do a tax analysis for you, whether you have a short-term rental or not, and we'll throw in a copy of one of my books, either Win or the best business book you'll ever read.
I love it. So all you have to do is call the phone number on the screen or hit the QR code. First 5 people. Yeah. Done. That's an honest, great gesture for sure. John Ledford, Fortress Wealth Group, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Bedrosian, real estate agent to the stars, as I say. Good to see you, pal. Any questions about real estate, call him. Also, very quick break. You Have Real Estate continues.